Story on this Friday, we're learning more about what went on inside an unmarked Columbus police car on the west side of Columbus just last August. That's when a 23-year-old woman was shot and killed by a former vice officer during what he calls an undercover prostitution bust.
Andrew Mitchell says he shot 23-year-old Donna Castleberry in self-defense. But thanks to Mitchell's own recording of the interaction between the two, prosecutors say it's actually a use of excessive force. NBC4's Tyler Beckham joining us now live outside the Franklin County Courthouse with more on what happened during his arraignment today.
Colleen, just before his scheduled 1:30 arraignment here on the second floor to my right, to your left here, Andrew Mitchell walked in and out of court in less than 4 minutes, as we also learn more details about Castleberry's final moments.
Former Columbus Police Vice Officer Andrew Mitchell slowly walked into Franklin County Common Pleas Court for his arraignment on a murder and voluntary manslaughter charge. Tattoo exposed on his right arm, looking more like a soldier almost, in a sleeveless army green protective vest.
It's my understanding he had a conversation with someone, and based on that conversation, they placed him in there for safety reasons.
Not in the usual jumpsuit, Mitchell's lawyer Mark Collins says, because of talk about self-harm.
That conversation was about people who do self-harm to themselves and things of that general nature. I don't want to go into the specifics, but that's why the vest was put on.
Mitchell pled not guilty on both counts in the shooting death of 23-year-old Donna Castleberry on August 23rd of last year, he says, in self-defense. Mitchell's own audio recording of what he referred to as an undercover prostitution bust will be used against him during the trial. And Franklin County Prosecutor Ron O'Brien says when hearing it, it's clear this is no case of self-defense.
He was in the front seat, she was in the back seat. The door was open, his seatbelt was unbuckled. He could exit and wait for marked cruisers to arrive, at which time she could be assured that he was a law enforcement officer, as opposed to being fearful that he wasn't.
In the end, a coroner's report indicates Mitchell fired at Castleberry 6 times, hitting her 3 times. Collins says in self-defense because she pulled a knife and stabbed him.
Mark, 6 bullets, 6 gunshots. A lot of people think that's excessive.
That's what, some scenes, maybe, there's other cases where there's 15, 20 shots. It's not excessive. All depends on the uniqueness of the situation. This case comes down to what happened in that car.
A court date hasn't been set. Mitchell is also awaiting the start of his federal trial on unrelated charges brought by 2 women who say Mitchell forced sex on them in exchange for not charging them with prostitution. More on those audio recordings and what exactly they say and how they disprove that theory of self-defense coming up new tonight on NBC4 at 6. Local for you in downtown Columbus, Tyler Beckham, NBC4.
Thanks so much, Tyler. The final